Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am DJ Abakria, Track MBNT, and today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people always ask me about, and that is what kind of computer should I buy? So I'm just going to go ahead and just cut to the chase and not kind of elaborate too much on a lot of things. So, and you know, you can take it as an opinion or you can take it as fact. Either way, I will not steer you in the wrong direction. Please believe it. Now, there's things that you must consider. Now, if you're trying to be a music producer, especially, or an artist, or anything that has to do with technicality in the music industry, I highly recommend that you get a laptop. I highly recommend that, because if you're going to do things from DJing to production to even recording in different scenarios, laptops these days are more powerful enough to handle all those situations without a hiccup. And the reason why is because the processors have improved. Now, why am I getting into this whole entire processor thing? I know a lot of this stuff might go over your head, and I'm trying to keep it as layman as possible, because of my technical experience in the past as far as building computers and building laptops and working with laptops. So I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Processors mean a lot, because when you are actually doing a lot of things with your computer in terms of music, it is very system heavy. So it is good that you get a processor that is able to calculate on time, because you know, who wants to sit there and wait for plugins to pull up, or even when you're doing stuff like I'm doing right now as far as streaming and actually, you know, kind of narrating and stuff like that, because these are things that processors manage very well. Now, when we go into it, I have BestBuy.com pulled up. This just, don't mind me. This is the first thing I'm pulled up. There's no hidden innuendos of me actually, you know, working for Best Buy, or, you know, Best Buy sponsoring my channel. I wish, but you know, it was the first thing that popped in mind. So you can actually shop in Amazon. There's other great deals, but you know, I just want to point people in the right direction. So first things first, there's two different types of processors. You have an AMD processor, and then you have an Intel processor. Now, Intel processors, in a nutshell, are much better than AMD processors for many different reasons, and many solid reasons why. And you know, not to say that AMD processors are garbage, but they're in a nutshell, you can actually, if you're actually shopping for a laptop, you'll notice that a lot of the great deals are in AMD processors. And AMD processors, laptops or whatnot, are decent, but there are certain things and restrictions and reasons why you want to have an Intel processor. And one need to be is the processing. And the processor itself, you know, the AMDs have multi-core processing, but they do not utilize all the resources the same as an Intel processor. So the Intel processors win in that particular division or whatever, but they win in that particular division because of multi-threading. And now you have to be very important when you're shopping for your laptop, that you are looking for a laptop that has multi-core threading. And so which ones have multi-core threading? So we're gonna go into something like I'm gonna say, and we're gonna actually shop. We're gonna shop along. I already have a i5. Now the ones that you do want are something of like an i3, an i5, and i7 or better. I say that because now they are very much affordable. I'm gonna go and actually, you know, go from, hey, if you got money, you're balling, or if you have the, you know, if you have the actual money and the resources to actually get a really good laptop or a really expensive laptop, you should. I highly recommend it. Don't shortchange when it comes down to music production or music in general or multimedia, because if you buy a laptop because it's, you know, the shining example was this laptop starting off at $169. If you're going into a store like a Best Buy, and you're trying to do all this stuff other than just surfing the web, then you're literally going to end up being mad at the end of the day, very unsatisfied. So make sure that you're getting an i3, i5, i7. Make sure that they're also second generation, because those it's very important, because multi-threading processing, which it is having what that means is just you have the resources available to be able to do multi-core threading, which means that you are using more than one core at a time to be able to process, to be able to run software, like your DAWs or video processing, much like how I'm doing right now and how I do on my channel. If you're wondering how I do it on my channel, because I have an i5 HP. Now, do you have to get an HP? No, you don't. Because there are plenty of other brands out there that do much the same thing, but it all comes down to the specs. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me turn down the music. Turn down the music a little bit. Yeah, playing it from my turntable. But yeah, so be very careful about that when you're actually going and shopping for your laptop. You don't necessarily have to have a certain brand. I know a lot of people will say that you have to have certain ones that work better than others, but hey, I know people saying that HPs are garbage. My HP has been working just fine properly. The second thing you want to make sure that you are getting when you're getting a laptop is that you're getting either a Windows 8 and above. And I know Windows 10 isn't as great as it could be right now, but however, Windows 10 is optimized the best. Windows 8 and Windows 10 are optimized the best for music. With that being said, there's certain things that also, if you're a music producer, that you have to look out for as far as your laptop. And that is this. Most processors are 64-bit, which is a fantastic thing, because 64-bit versus 32-bit, 32-bit uses mostly your resources from your RAM, which 4 gigs of RAM is pretty darn good. If you're going to get an i3, you can only go up to 4 gigs of RAM, and that's because of the actual processor itself, and the fact that more than likely 64-bit can utilize, well, not most likely, 64-bit can utilize more than 4 gigs of RAM and be able to process it better. Now, 64-bit in general actually uses your resources of memory different as well. As it uses the resources of both your hard drive and your RAM, which is very important, because if you're really maximizing off of streaming your samples off of your hard drive, be much quicker. You won't have many of those RAM overloads that we love to hate when your system crashed. So keep in mind. So hopefully y'all are still with me. I know we're at 8 minutes and 20 seconds, but this is a very important process for when you're doing music. It's very important. So what else as far as 64-bit? But yeah, the second generation i3s and i5s, i7s. So mainly you should really look for i7 or i5. i7 at the best, i5 at the worst, which would be just fine at this moment. If you're buying a laptop that came out this year, or the latter days of last year, which would be second generation. Okay. Boy, my throat is hurting. So let's shop for a laptop. So we know we're gonna avoid the 169 laptops. We don't want to do that. Now, Mac OS is already 64-bit. They was the pioneers of having the Intel processors that rocked. So Mac OSs are they're expensive. They're expensive. They're shiny, and I'm not gonna knock Macs for what it's worth, because they are very good laptops. There's a reason why Mac is on top, but that's also the reason why they are very expensive as well. So please note that if you're a Mac user. So because this is not a debate about what's better, Windows or Mac, because Mac builds their laptops to last a good 4 or 5 years versus you spending $400 or well, $200, and then you're replacing a laptop every year on Windows. Many other people have big fears about their Windows 8 and 10. I'm working on Windows 8 and 10. I worked on Windows 8 when I had it, and then I upgraded to Windows 10. I haven't had many problems from Windows 10 in general. At first, you know, it was annoying because Windows 10 in general was updating a lot, and they update in the background. So, you know, when I was making beats and stuff like that, and then streaming, it got a little annoying when they was updating, you know, in the background and doing all kinds of stuff. So, this is the booger that you would avoid. Look at it. See, great deal, right? $279.99, 500 gigabyte hard drive, AMD A6 series. The A6 series is pretty much talking about the graphics card series and its processor. It's 64-bit. However, it's AMD. And one thing about AMDs also as well, if you're trying to get into the DJ age, a lot of the Serato and all that stuff does not take very well with AMDs. A lot of crashes, probably won't even work. So I highly recommend, that's another reason why I highly recommend Intel processors. $279.99, great deal, but no. Now, goodness gracious, well, my throat is killing me. Give my throat a rest. So we're actually looking at an HP laptop, which is a touchscreen laptop, Intel Core i3. So we're in the ballpark right here as far as the laptop that you want to get now. Now this is 5th gen Intel. Didn't even know it was in 5th gen. That should let you know something about me. My laptop is like 2 years old, but it's still on point. So we're looking at this, and you know, I'm trying to keep this at 15 minutes. We're looking at this. This is where you would want to start. Look at it, 5th generation, 6 gigs of memory. So everything I told you is pretty much old stuff. 1 terabyte hard drive, 6 gigs of memory, touchscreen, HDMI out. A-OK stuff. So yeah. With that being said, that is the starting point if you're, you know, want to buy something cheap that will actually that you can actually benefit from. That's from the lower end. Dell computer. Can I say that Dell's a bad computer? Depends. Now, my niece has a Dell computer. She does music as well. Guess what? It's very good. I have tested it out. Actually runs better than my i5. My i5 HP. Once again, 6 gigs of memory. So you're in the ballpark there. Bluetooth, HDMI output, very good. 5th generation Intel Core. So we're gonna go down and we're gonna keep on going. Now, we're in a straight serious play league right here. This is like mid-tier stuff right here. And this is the HP Envy. Touchscreen Intel Core i5, 8 gigabytes of memory, 1 terabyte hard drive. Seeing the pattern substandard, $700. Now you're really in there. Now the i5s will have that multi-core processing that I was talking about earlier, which is very important, because one thing is annoying when you're trying to pull up those massive libraries like East West, Omnisphere, all that, and they will load much faster on these. They'll load on the i3s, but it will load much faster on the i5s. We're just gonna keep on scrolling down. Matter of fact, now there is one thing that you should be aware about. Now you will start seeing stuff like SSD, which is solid state drives. Solid state drives are 10 times faster than your regular hard drive. And how's that significant? It's very significant in 64-bit, because that means that when it is calculating your calculating what you're doing on your DAWs or whatever your multimedia is, that faster hard drive will come in handy, because it will pull up things much faster from that hard drive, meaning there's less work for your RAM. which is a great thing, especially seeing that on the average that we've seen here is 6 gigs of RAM. So that means that your computer will be in the game. Computers in general are much faster than the computers of the past, which means there's much more things that you could do. And you will see that if you've seen a lot of my projects and beats and you ran it and you wonder why stuff is pulling up slower, because my computer is fucking fast and it's old. Now we're starting to enter the upper echelons here, as this is what we will call the high end of laptops. You have an HP Envy touchscreen laptop, Intel i7, 16 gigs of memory, of DDR memory, 1 terabyte hard drive, and then linear carbon natural, so I believe it's color. But yeah, best believe you're sweet behind that this is very, very good. And this is, and like i5s, i7s are much more optimized for Windows 10 than anything lower than those two, especially even the AMDs. Yeah, so this is you're heading home to there. Then it has 2 gigs of dedicated graphics, the RAM for your dedicated graphics, so you're not taking the hit on your 16 gigs of memory of your RAM. So you know everything will be much faster. 64-bit at that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get in the closing here, because I just wanted to show some examples. And I really don't want to rush this, because this is one of those things. Matter of fact, I might just cover this one right here, because this is something other than HP, because you know people are niches for that, for certain brands. Once again, I lost my place. Yeah. Once again, I want to get into solid state drives, and I know that's probably not what I was talking about. Sorry about that. You know, I have a bad tendency about that. But now we have a Lenovo Yoga 2-in-1 14-inch touchscreen laptop, Intel Core i5, 8 gigs of memory, 256 gigabytes of solid state drive. Now, remember, I said the solid state drives are much faster than the regular hard drive. So you know, and there you're taking a pretty big hit as far as like your hard drive memory. You know, give or take, but it's a much faster hard drive, and then the bargain price of, you know, this being mid to high tier, being $799.99. You know, so you're looking at that, and you have to consider this in general. You know, do you buy external hard drive, which you can buy external solid state drive if you want to ball in the budget, and then you know that will suffice as far as like you pulling stuff up from your external hard drive, because you know solid state drives, once again, is much faster. Dang, we're at 18 minutes. Yeah, I told you this is a lengthy topic, and a lot of people are asking me. But anyways, yeah, but this laptop in general, specs wise, is smoking. And you know, 8 gigs of memory is nothing to be laughed at, or even 4 gigs at this point of the juncture. And then you know the Bluetooth and all that, you know, that's just like extra. And the HDMI output, you know, and mind you that a lot of laptops in this general day and age do not have HDMI. So I believe it's starting to be like one of those things that is a must-have for a laptop, or you know, a default thing. But you know, you can actually, you know, one thing that I like about my laptop is that I have 2 screens. If you have seen my videos, I have another video where, you know, anyways, you know, you can have 2 screens, you know, at the axis, and they'll be in high def, because your main laptop be in high def, and then your monitor of your choice, that it give or take that is 1080 or 720, hopefully it'll be 1080 or even 4K. Will be high def, and you'll be able to pull up stuff, and you know, and you'll be able to work on 2 monitors, which is very helpful. So, you know, with that being said, another drawback of this actual piece is that it has no DVD CD drive included. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind about Windows 10 or Windows 8 is that if you know happen to put stuff in if you pack stuff in ISO files, you will be able to pull them up within there without making or, you know, installing any extra software. That means that you'll be able to, you know, pull up, ISO files, obviously, and open them up and mount them, and then unmount them after you're done installing whatever. Keep that in mind. Wink, wink. But I don't necessarily see a point of having CDs or DVDs at this point. My laptop does not have a CD drive. I don't care. I really don't. You're either streaming or you have your software backed up or whatever on your hard drive, which what I do. I have external. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a laptop and it doesn't have a CD drive. Those are the key things there. So I covered. Now there was something very, very sexy released, and it's this Microsoft Surface Book Surface Pro 4. And now we're looking at it. It is very, very expensive, but it's very, very worth it, and it's not even out yet. Holiday season's coming up. I just clicked on it. I'm just waiting for it to pull up. Don't mind me. The joys of streaming. But we're gonna look at the actual, the specs of this. Everything. I mean, it's already in tip-top shape for if you're doing music or whatever, multimedia in general. So you got an i4 Intel Core i5 multi-core processing, 8 gigs of memory, 128 gigabyte solid state drive. That's pushing it. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. That's too much money for too little hard drive space. Because, 256 is, and the solid state drive, that's good. Now, 128 gigabyte solid state drive, that's kind of pushing it for your hard drive memory. But yeah, that's basically about it. I don't want to hold everybody up, but this was something that people had asked me about, in terms of that. But I just want to give you some specs that you should look for when you're buying your laptop for music, because that is very important, that you not just go out there, you see a cheap AMD processor, that says dual core, this, that, and the third, and then you think of it, then you see it running, and then it has like a Beats sign on there, Beats by Dre sign on there. You're like, oh, it's cool, or it's red, is my favorite color, which is one of my favorite colors, but. And then you just buy it, and then you get home, and then you put your Ableton Live, your FL Studios, and your Cubase on there, and then it's running like crap. Or you put Serato on your laptop, or things like that. Yeah, those are things that kind of make you mad about what your purchases are, and and a lot of people will try to kind of sell you into it when you go out and shop or whatnot, because nobody really wants to order a laptop and have it come to their house. Yeah, even though you're always reassured by if you're going through PayPal or whatever the company that you're in. Hopefully, you always want to make sure that you know what the return process is, and it's kind of shaky when it comes to electronical stuff when you're trying to order it by mail. Some people don't have choice. I know that. A lot of people I know and our friends with overseas don't have the access to Best Buys and all that, and they tendencies that don't have that. So guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any more extra questions, hopefully I'll be able to answer them in the comment section. I know I'm not saying I'm a busy man, but I've been having a lot of interviews and a lot of things going on and stuff like that, and it's for you guys. So I'm trying to keep more of a cordial and more professional thing going on in terms of the the YouTube channel. And so it's the first time seeing a video by DJ McCree. Check out more videos. I have more tech savvy stuff. I like to talk about tech stuff because it is very important. So you got to find the right, but make sure that you find the right computer, aka the right laptop, to be able to do music on. So that is basically about it. Shop, check it out, pause the video, and go back and see what you're going to do. But make sure, well, if you haven't watched it, if you're not watching the full video, you're probably not gonna see that. But that's basically it. But anyways, I'm DJ McCree, and I say have a nice day to all you guys, and I am out of here.